Hey everyone, welcome to Data Millennials. I'm Atul, and in this video we are going to discuss about while loop in Python. So Python while loop is used to run a block code until a certain condition is met. This while loop is used to execute a block of statements repeatedly until a given condition is satisfied, and when the condition becomes false, the line immediately after the loop in the program is executed. So in simple words, we can say that the while loop executes the same code again and again until a stop condition is met. A condition is tested in the starting of the while loop, and if it is true, then the loop body is executed. Once the loop body is executed, the condition is tested again, and it keeps on doing this until the condition is false. So now we have one of the things that we want to understand is that there can be a situation that can occur in a while loop is that the loop might not run ever, and this can only happen when the condition is tested false within the first iteration of the loop. So when the condition is tested and the result is false, the loop body will be skipped and the first statement after the while loop will be executed. So let's understand this while loop with the diagram. So over here you can see that we have the test expression. If the test expression is evaluated as false, then the while loop will not execute and it will go to the next statement below the while loop. But if the condition satisfies, then it will get into the body of the while loop, and the while loop will get started and it will start executing a block of a statement repeatedly until the given condition is satisfied. So the while loop falls under the category of indefinite iteration. Indefinite iteration means that the number of times the loop is executed is not specified explicitly in advance. When a while loop is executed, expression is first evaluated, which you the expression which you give in the while loop will get first evaluated in a boolean context, and if it is true, then the loop body is executed. Then the expression is checked again, and if it is still true, then the body is executed again, and this continues until the expression becomes false. So if we try to understand the syntax of while loop, then it's very simple, saying that we'll put while, then we'll put condition, and then we'll put the body of the loop, and that's it. So a while loop evaluates the condition. If the condition evaluates to be true, whatever condition you will put over here, it will evaluate, and if it is true, then the code inside this while loop will get executed and the condition is evaluated again, and it will go back to this line and check the condition. This process will continue until the condition is false, and the moment the condition is false, then the body outside the while loop will get executed. Okay, so when the condition evaluates to false, then the loop stops and the body outside the while loop will get executed. So let's take a simple example of while loop to display the number from 1 to 10. Okay, so we'll simply write our start point, or let's say start number equal to 1, then we'll put end number equal to 10, and then we want to print all the numbers from 1 to 10. So we can use this while loop, saying that while start number is less than equal to end number, then print the start number. So this will work, but we have to increment this start number over here. Okay, so the next line that we are going to do is that we are going to put start number equal to start number plus 1. So let's run this code first, and then we'll understand what is happening in this program line by line. So if I run this, you can see that we are getting from 1 till 10 displayed in the output. So in this example, the value of a start number is incremented by 1 over here inside the while loop, and hence each time the loop gets executed, the value of the start num is incremented by 1, which further means that at one stage the start number value will exceed this number 10, and then the loop will get terminated, and then it will end in successful end of the program. So how does this program works is that we have the, let's say that we have start number equal to 1, and we have the end number equal to 1 in the starting of the program, and due to this 1 is printed. Okay, let me copy this and put it over here multiple times so that it's easy to understand for us. In the next iteration, what will happen is that this start number will get incremented to 2 because of this line in this for loop. Okay, and the end number will remain same, which is 10. Okay, so let me put 10 over here. And when the start number is 2 and end number is 10, our condition saying that start number is less than equal to end number, so 2 is less than equal to 10, that's why the start number 2 will get printed, because we have already incremented the start number. Then again, due to this line, our start number will get incremented to 3, and the program will go to this line again, and it will check the condition saying that 3 is less than equal to int number, and it is true, so 3 will be printed over here. Similarly, for the fourth iteration, the start number will be 4, and 4 is printed over here, and it will keep on going like this till the start number will become 11 and the end number is 10, and our condition does not fulfills, and it will give us the false as the boolean expression, and then loop will get exited and the program will end successfully. Now when you are using loop, you have to understand that it's very common that loop gets into an infinite loop, and it's important to note that the value of the start number within the while loop should be incremental, else the while loop will get into infinite loop. So let's see an example of infinite loop over here. Let me run this first. Okay, so the example of infinite loop, we'll have, let's say, my counter. I'm just putting a variable my counter equal to 100, and I'm saying while my counter is less than equal to 110, then print my counter. Okay, let me just put it like this. Okay, so you have given the value of variable 100, and you are checking the condition saying that my counter value should be less than 110. So this will always be true, and when the condition will always be true, then this will keep on printing the value of my counter, and it will get into an infinite loop. So if I run this, you will see that we have this 100 keep on getting printed over here. Okay, and it will keep on printing. So you have to make sure that the number or the condition that you are giving over here should be incremental. Okay, so let me stop this over here. So as it was going into infinite loop, if I have to make sure that my while loop doesn't get into an infinite loop, I have to give the incremental condition or incremental statement in my loop. So I'll put my counter is equal to my counter plus 1. So if I run this now, you will see that I have value from 100 till 110. So what happened over here, that my counter value has 100, it was getting tested against this 110. So it was checking that 100 is less than 110. If it is, then print my counter, then increment my counter value by 1, and again keep on checking it. The moment my counter values comes to 111, this loop stops and your program will successfully end. And if you have not given this incremental statement, in your while loop, then it will get into the infinite loop. Now as we are talking about while loop, there are certain people who likes to write this while loop within a single line or within a single statement. So there is a way of writing while loop with a single statement while block, and the loop can be declared in a single statement. So let's take an example saying that we have loop counter, and for this loop counter I'm going to put the value 0, and then I'm going to write a while condition saying that while loop counter is less than equal to 5, then print inside the single statement while loop and loop counter is, then I'm going to give the value of loop counter, and then I'm going to increment the loop counter value. Loop counter is equal to loop counter plus 1. Okay, now if I run this, okay, I'm getting an error saying that illegal target for annotation. Okay, oh, the error is over here, we have to give semicolon. Let's run this again. So we are getting the output over here. Okay, so we are getting inside the single statement while loop and loop counter is 0. So this is similar to the if else block where we can write the code block in a single line. While this single line of loop seems intriguing, this is not the good way of writing a while loop because it's pretty difficult to understand for somebody else when they will be seeing your code. So let's talk about another real life example of while loop. Let's create a program to calculate the bill amount of a shopping cart in which the billing user will provide the value like price, quantity, and amount of each and every item that the user has purchased. Okay, and will calculate the total bill. So let's assume that you go to a DMart, you take all the required items or necessary items, put it into your basket, then you go to the billing station, and one by one you are putting all the items on their billing desk. They will scan it, and then once your item is finished, then they'll give you the bill. Okay, this is a real life example where you can use the while loop. So for using that, we need two things: we need amount and we need items, right? And we need to give the program an indication saying that whether do you want to continue with the next item for inputting into the bill, or do you want to stop. So we'll have two variable over here saying that amount equal to 0 and choice equal to yes, and then we'll simply write a while loop saying that while choice is equal to yes. Then within this loop we are going to ask the quantity from the user. Okay, so we'll put quantity equal to, then we'll put eval input, please enter the quantity of the item. Let me copy this line, and then we are going to ask for the price. Please enter the price of the item, and then we'll calculate the amount. So the amount will be basically quantity into item, but this will only work for one time. So let's say that you have given three items, right? So you need to run this loop three times, and the first item price was 100 rupees, the second item price was, let's say, 50 rupees, and the third item price was 75 rupees. So in the first loop that 100 needs to be taken, in the second loop you need to take that 50 rupees and add it to 100, and in the third item you need to take that 75 rupees and add it into this that 150 rupees, right? So we'll simply add the amount which is actually in memory, and then we are going to ask the choice from the user saying that would you like to continue adding the item in the bill. Then we'll give them options saying that select yes or no. Once our loop is finished, then we want to print the amount. Okay, so we'll say your total bill amount is, and then we'll give the amount variable. Okay, so let's say that I have three items in my shopping cart or in my shopping bucket, and let's run this program. Okay, we are getting an error saying that invalid syntax, so we need to put double equal to over here. So let's run this again. So the first thing that the Python is asking me, enter the quantity of item. So let's take an example saying that I want to have two rice packs, each cost rupees 100. So I'll put quantity of item 2, then it's asking me the price of item. I'll put 100 rupees. Okay, now again I'm getting an error saying that item is not defined. Okay, so over here I need to put quantity into price. So let's run it again. Two rice packs for 100 rupees. Now we have been asked by Python, would you like to continue adding item in the bill? So if I select yes, then again it will ask me enter the quantity. So my first item was rice pack. Let's say my second item is some pulses of 5 packets. So 5, and then the price of pulses is, let's say, 20 rupees. So 5 into 20 will get into memory and it will get added to the this 2 into 100. Okay, now they are asking me whether would you like to continue adding the item in the bill. If I say no, then it will print the total bill amount. So if I take two rice bag multiplied by 100 rupees and 5 pulses packet multiplied by 20 rupees. Okay, so if I run this I got 200, if I run this I got 100. So if I add 200 plus 100 we'll get obviously 300, right? So in this program, the user is not asked about the number of product in advance, and the loop will be executed till the user enters yes. Once the user enter the value no, the control will be transferred to the main program and it will show you the total bill amount. So this is how you can use while loop in Python. Happy learning and see you in the next video.